Hello there, Will here. I am going to start having the boys lay out some pavers from this front door out. So we're going to take up the old pavers, put down the new pavers, and we're going to fill it in a little bit. Fill in some dirt so it's a little bit higher so we don't get the dirt washing over the beds. So this is the before. So I just wanted you to see this ugly mess. So this is just red pavers. We're swapping out to these bigger ones here. And I'm also going to have to start off the edge of this concrete pad, bottom of the steps, and take it out that way. And we're going to level it as we go and make it look good. So these are some spare freezer panels. Chickens have been chewing on the foam, so I put some boards on the end finally. And what I'm going to be doing is closing all this soffit back in. All the way along there, I got a mess. I left it out when I was wiring from getting the panels over to where they need to go. So I got to button all that back up and make sure that wiring is good for another panel, because I will be hooking another solar panel in. Update on the Save the Tomatoes initiative. Today it is 72 degrees in here. Not really sunny at all. We only put the blankets over one night. Look at all this. Ain't dead yet. I have no idea the variety, unfortunately. Hopefully it's a good variety. This is the least promising of them all right here. So, and then this thing, the one that's been sitting outside of the barrels, don't think we're going to get far with that one. So over here is the Egyptian walking onions. Looking kind of dry, so I should probably water it today. But that's just a little quick update on the Save the Tomatoes initiative. I think I'm going to bring in some more cold frames, get some more dirt, and get some crops going. I'll show you the other greenhouse too. I want to get some stuff growing. Looks like the cows are hungry. Following me around waiting for some hay. So I'm going to pop some hay over the fence right there. So as the start of the little paver project, of which I'm going to not be doing anything really other than supervising. Got this old edging that I didn't throw away. I've been rounding it up. We're going to straighten it out and use it. I'll show you more on the paper project in a minute. Getting ready to use this old panel here, put it up on the roof while I'm up there buttoning everything up. So I got to take apart this solar generator and get that panel up on the roof. Get some brackets on it. And part of what I used to mount it on the roof is this piece of galvanized something or another. So I just need like a 6-inch piece. I'm going to cut it on the chop saw. And then I'll show you what I do with it when I get up there. Homemade solar mounting. Quick and easy. I've been researching online about solar panel tilt. Page 1 of Google. Nobody agrees. All the way from like 48 to 93 degrees. I'm just like, whatever. Seems like most of them are in the 50 to 60, lower 60 degree range. So I'm just setting my panels at 60 degrees, 30 degrees off of horizontal. If you want to, depends how you measure it, 30 or 60. So I'm making arms to fit to show you how I would adjust this. I want you to see the difference in the inclination there. And then I'm going to show you how I make my little arms, because I only have the summertime ones built. So I already know my measurement, and I'll show you how I got it, but 18 inches. So I would just mark my 18 inches. Right back. This is 3/4 inch galvanized conduit. I put my little thing on 18 inches and I just spin it and tighten it, spin it and tighten it, spin it and tighten it until it cuts it. So I'm just going to do 4, and then I'll show you what I do from there. I'm going to go ahead and cut 8, but I wanted to show you a trick. When you're doing a bunch of them to reduce fatigue, just gently clamp your vice grips on, not that tight. Set your thing and then use the vice grips as the handle to spin it. You just keep tightening it with this hand. It goes way faster than if you're just trying to hold that pipe by hand. Especially the thinner it is. Well, 1 inch really wears you out. So this is just a lot quicker, a lot less fatigue. Alright, I needed 10 pieces of 18 inch. 4 panels installed, needing it, and then that one I'm going to be putting in. So this is my 18 inch piece. So all I do is hold it on the anvil here and I just smash it flat. So I'll just keep hitting it until I get it where I want it, and I'll show you that. So it's not that hard. And there's my angle. So this will be, it sits like this on the roof. And so I'm going to do this 10 more times and then take you to the next step. Well, okay, that's 10 of them. Got a little bit of a bicep workout. So this is this. Now you don't have to have an anvil to do this. You can use 2 hammers, you can use a piece of concrete, you can use a brick, you can use a piece of wood. The advantage of an anvil is it's hitting back as hard as you're hitting. So it's giving you equal force back at you basically. So you're getting twice as much out of it because it's just the weight of the anvil and the solid metalness of it. Solid metalness. But you know what I'm saying, just the bulk and hardness of it. It's a tool edge, and I'm using this front edge here, and it's helping me just roll that metal real quick like. So it comes out decent. And I try to hold my pipe at a 90-degree angle to the anvil so it's fairly straight bend. Doesn't have to be perfect, but straight is useful. Slightly easier, I'd say. So I'm going to go show you what I do next. So now I'm just going to hold this on my sawhorse, and then I'm just going to use a little drill. Little hole. And there you have it. And one tip when you're drilling metal especially, don't speed that drill up. Just take your time, put steady pressure, not too much. Just keep the drill bit still in place, let it do its work. And if you're throwing shavings, you don't push any harder, don't go any faster. Just let it throw shavings and just keep the heat down. Just take your time and you'll actually get it done faster. Then revving that drill up and push it. You're just going to break bits and dull them out. Just take your time with metal, nice steady slow pressure, and you'll get right through it. Well, I got all 9 done. I thought I had 10, 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. The 10th one I'm not going to need because I'm going to have to weld the bracket anyway. So we'll get that one later. So here we are. Here's the one that's raised. Here's the angle gauge. You can see 30 doing it that way, or you can see 60 doing it that way, or 60 doing it this way on the other end. So these angle gauges, you can get them at any of the box stores, hardware stores, Lowe's, Home Depot, whatever. Probably even works on that. It shows a little different, but the welded part of this whole system is this arm right here. And I don't know how, that's a stainless bolt, U-bolt there, and then a piece of 3/4 conduit across. Used the holes. No, did I drill those? I don't remember. I guess I probably drilled them. It's supposed to be halfway, or 2/3 of the way. Yeah, I think I went 2/3 of the way up, 1/3 of the way down. Put this one bracket in. That is a shutter hinge from like wood shutters. I got them at Habitat. And I have stainless hardware on all that. The hinge itself is steel, but I have a stainless steel spacer between the hinge and the aluminum, and on the back side it's all stainless. Here's the summertime bracket, so I'm just replacing that summertime bracket. There's the summertime bracket. There's the wintertime bracket. This one is 2. This one was 24. I didn't need a 24. I thought I was going up to like 80 or something, so I was just guessing. So I only needed 60, so these 18s will be just fine. So I'll show you that. So I'm not going to measure every one. I'm just going to make them look even because I can't get the perfect, I can't get a straight answer what you actually need to do. So here's what I did here. Now again, this is a 3/4 cross bar made out of regular steel conduit. There's a 1-inch piece of pipe and then it's a 1/2 inch welded to it. This 3/4, I slide inside that, see? And then I just put it, and slide this over and put it there. And on that first one I just put a Phillips in real quick so I don't have to keep changing bits. But I will just, when I have where I want it, I'll just put this screw in like this. And it's self-tapping, it's got the little drill bit on it. So I'll just zip that right in there. So I zip that in there, and I also have a hole here. So I'll go ahead and put, that just helps take some of that wobble out of that. So I'll put those screws in there, and then I'll change these little ones out for these. And I'm going down into a 2x4. So I'll go ahead and get this one ready and show you what it looks like. Now I realize the welded part of this is the pain of it all, but I just couldn't think of another way to have an adjustment so easy to make. I'm actually having to fabricate But now, if in years to come, all I got to do is just switch from one to the other. And it's just, and I'll probably have to take this long one off in the summer, but I could probably just leave it, zip tie it or something, flip it upside down, put a screw in it and hold it in place. Just leave it right here. And that way in the winter, I just come do this. It wouldn't take very long at all to do these panels, is the point. Right now, I'm still fabricating, so it's a little bit more of a pain. Originally, I had planned on just having a bunch of sleeves that you could take apart and use your original, but I'm like, that's just too many moving pieces. It would be nice because it wouldn't be long if this had a private sleeve that stood inside of that one. But there's just going to be too many moving parts. I think the less pieces to lose, the better. The less screws to deal with, the better. So this is my self-adjustable, self-made DIY solar mount. And with this new higher profile, we'll see how it holds up in the wind. Looks like it has a little bit of shake to it. I don't know. We'll see. I don't like that. But to get rid of that, you'd have to have another lot more stuff. So we'll see how it holds up. At any rate, the snow is going to slide right off if we do get any. That'll actually make it easier. And that's a good 6 inches, so might not even pile up that high. Maybe once or twice a year, maybe. We'll see when the first snow comes. Anyway, I'm going to get the rest of these tilted up just to have done it, and then I'm going to start mounting that last panel. The way it works out is that those trees there really interfere in the summer with having a panel down here at this end, but in the winter, not a problem. It's just have that panel there, and I'll either disconnect it or wire it separately to something smaller, because it will drag all the panels down. It'll drag the whole array down in the summer. These 5 do fine, but this 6th one will not do fine. Or I'll get some electronics that will allow you to equalize. They have that things that'll like not let one panel drag down the whole array if you have separate little controllers. I don't know what they're called, but I forgot what else I was going to say. Anyway, I'll think of it later. So I'm going to continue with this solar work. Well, that wasn't too bad. So here we are. And my roof is not straight. That's why my panels are not perfect. I just do the best I can. It doesn't look crisp and perfect like some of them might. There's perfect lines on them, but this is what I got. And I spent absolutely practically nothing on this mounting system. A lot of this stuff was reused, repurposed. You know, I had to buy it at some point, but it wasn't like an immediate investment. It was just stuff I had laying around. I got this conduit laying around everywhere. I guess the cost of screws. And I bought some stainless. I had to buy some stainless hardware. This is a 5% gain. At least that's what I'm coming up with when I look it up and calculate it. 5% gain. So if you had 20 panels, it's like having 21 panels. If you have 320 watt panel, well, you're not really going to gain more than you already have, but you're going to get more output. Say you were getting 300, you would get a 5% increase would be a 15 watt increase on the panel. So it'd be probably probably about 10 watts per panel increase across an array of 60 watts. That's, you know, what's a 60 watt panel cost? So coming in and adjusting this probably take you like 10 minutes. On the equinoxes is, I think, when you're about supposed to do it. So come up here in March, end of March, and change it over, and then end of September and change it over. Gain 60 or 75 watts just on this small array. You gain more on a bigger array, obviously, but I think it's worth it. This catwalk has certainly made it a quick and easy job. It would be a pain if it was on a ladder. It definitely wouldn't be worth it. But having this catwalk, and this was a free lumber that someone gave me from when they tore apart a pool deck, so I put it here. I think I got some good years left on it. Of course, the chickens like it, and you can see the mess the chickens make. Oh well. So I'm going to work on this wiring. I'm not going to get this last panel mounted on the roof tonight, but I will be able to get like the brackets on. So I will just, like that piece I cut earlier down there, it's just sitting there waiting, and I just used a regular old 1/4-inch drive roofing screws on that, as you can see on that one there. That one I had to turn around so I could get 2 on it. That was just one piece. I cut these pieces way too long. I thought I was going to need the the structural integrity of a wider piece. I didn't really need to do that. I could have just cut them just as wide as I needed them. I could have just maybe left an inch on that end and an inch on that end. So I could have saved a little material, but I still have like a 6-foot piece of this. And this end piece down here, which I did for the structural integrity because it's hanging off the roof like that. So I could probably take like at least 2 feet out of that, 30 inches or something out of that, and it would probably still be fine. If I end up needing more of this material, I don't even know what it is. Maybe an old water trough or something. It looks kind of like a gutter, but I don't even know where I got it. Sure is handy though. And maybe I could cut little pieces off, come back and adjust it and trim some off if I wanted to go through all that, if I end up needing the material really bad. But I'm doing something different on my main roof anyway. So. But if and when I do extend this greenhouse, I'm going to need some more of this material. So hopefully I'll have enough for that base. And I'm just using that base to get it up where I have ventilation. They don't like it right next to your roof. They say it builds up the heat. Bad for the panels, bad for the roof. So having a little ventilation in there, good idea. This wire here is for the panel that will be installed. So I'm going to work on getting this wiring done under here and getting this piece of metal back on. And then I'm going to go down and get all the mountings done for the other panel that was on the solar generator. I'm going to take that apart, make that thing ready. This is the last day of the year. Tomorrow is a holiday. And it's Saturday for me, so I'm not going to work. If it was not Saturday, not the 7th day, I'd probably get out here and put this panel on. But tomorrow I'm just going to take it easy. At any rate, I'll keep you updated on my next progress. Well, I ran out of screws. It took more work than I thought. I still got to button all that back of that wall up. And this soffit was just really loose. It needed a lot more screws than so I got to finish that. I got to go round up more screws. I think I'm going to quit for today. You can just see where I need to get all that buttoned up nicely. So I didn't get a whole lot done today, but I gave it a shot. I spent a lot of the day messing with inverters, and I will talk to you more about that in the next video. Those cheap, well, solar controllers, not inverter. Those cheap solar controllers. The lugs on those things, you have to be careful because you strip them out and then they're worthless. And I'm out. I actually had to empty out my DC fridge. Can't use it because I have the batteries and the panel and everything, but no charger, no charge controller. That car that I was using the panels to charge the little Toyota RAV4 thing, panel's bad, or the controller's bad, all of that. I do have the deep freeze working. I will show you that real quick. So yeah, I had to change out the caps on the wires. I got those yellow wires hooked into the harness, and I changed these grays over to blues. 4 wires total. So what it is this one that I'll be adding is on its own wire tying in, and then there's a series of wires coming all in. So there's 3 feeder wires going into one piece of number 8, and then the one piece of number 8 goes over to my deep freeze. I'll show you that. So I'm going to get down. So this thing I've had for like probably 20 years and I couldn't get it to work. DOA. I got to unhook my battery. So anyway, this is where I need one charge controller that I do not have. I'll just leave all this under here. Unhook that. Everything's unhooked now. So when I get a charge controller, I'll wire all this back up and show you that solar. So that little panel up there, I saw the video for that. Here is the adjusted panels, the space for the 6th one. This panel will be the one being added to the roof. There is where we put the conduit in, there. And that ties into the pump, pressure pump for the tank. So this is all free and clear here. So this will be going on the roof when I finish disassembling it. There's where my wire comes in. Chickens have been digging out our trench. So that's where my wire is coming in for from the pressure pump for all of my plumbing on the land. That was my extra piece of well wire. I had to buy a 3-strand well wire, 50 feet long, for my solar deep well pump. It goes down to as long as the wire let me. I didn't need that other wire. It was a 2-wire deal. So I unspooled this third wire and I just used it, and I used most of it. There's a little scrap piece somewhere, but I used like 20 feet additional. There's my scrap piece. So that, I got my box hooked up. So let me show you, this is my number 8 coming in, where I told you I put a blue cap back there. So all those panels, all 6 panels hook into this, and it's about 20 feet, maybe a little more, I don't know exactly. And here's my finished product here. This is my gel batteries from my solar generator there. So that's 24 volts at 202 or 208 amp hours at 24 volts. This is 224 amp hours at 24 volts. So the gel batteries are smaller. You can see they do as much work as that many flooded cells. It's sealed though, good batteries. Anyway, I got all of this, and I didn't get to it today. I just have it wired together with jumper cables right now. I'm just seeing, and I want to keep the batteries in use, and I want to see what the batteries are at 25 volts right now. So they're doing really nicely. It shows that the solar's still charging, and it shows that the load is running. That's my one solar controller that's working right there. The only one, my goodness. All these battery banks are wired in. So let me show you what I did. That solar controller, the load part is not working. It says the load's working, but it's not working. What is working is the solar to the battery. So that's fine, because now I got all of this coming to this square D QO series box. My battery wires are here. So this is the positive side going to one bar. This is coming up to this common bar, I think it's called. So this is my negative. This is my positive here. Sorry. Interesting to note, the way that I've done this is this one is not energized. So only every other breaker works. This breaker, they go up and down on the bars. But anyway, I skipped the breaker, and these are working. This one is to my pressure pump. This one is to this deep freeze. This is a piece of 8. This is a piece of 10. Right there is where it comes out. So it's directly wired to the batteries through a 15 amp fuse. So there's a 15 amp fuse going to my 8 amp pump, which not much help. And I'm not sure how many amps this, but I don't think it ever takes 15 amps. But anyway, that's my circuit, that's my protection for my devices. And this big bad boy is working. I got it all the way down further still cool, and it's frosted up in there. So we just want to make sure it'll keep running before we move a bunch of stuff out here. But at this point, this deep freeze is working just fine off of this about 230, let me do 422, 208 and 224. So 432 amp hours at 24. And that's obviously plenty of battery. I don't think we'll ever use that much. But this is just what I had available. We can do other things with it, but I'm going to need some charge controllers and load controllers to do other things with it. This is a 24 volt appliance, so is that pump, so it's just hooked right basically to the battery bank at this point until I get, and it hasn't, the wires aren't hot, the motors aren't hot, everything seems fine, the compressor's running fine. It doesn't seem like they're having any problems running right off the battery bank, and the battery bank's fully charged, so I don't see how I'm going to have any trouble with that. Anyway, I just wanted to show you this. If you have any questions, let me know. Oh yeah, I picked up a ground here. It goes over to my regular electric box. I have an electric box over there, electric panel box. So I have a ground rod down there next to that sewer pipe, vent pipe. So anyway, I got a real ground on all this. I probably need to do a little more grounding, but at least the box itself is grounded right now. So at any rate, if you have any suggestions or questions, let me know. And I just wanted to share what I've been working on, and I am tired. So talk to you more later. This end of the solar for today. I will show you the problems I've been having inside with the DC fridge, but I'm going to wait till I get a solar controller and get it working. And I'll show you a few little tricks that I found out with these cheap solar controllers. So y'all take it easy, wiggle out.